I was only 3 years old in 1849 when Father moved us from Newtown Square to Doylestown to set up his medical practice in our home on North Main Street. And that is where I lived until I married Richard Watson, a returning Union soldier, just after the war ended. I am Isabella McCoy Watson, and one might assume that a woman of my era, daughter of a doctor and wife of a prominent attorney, led a rather predictable life. As a hostess, accepting visitors to our home, of course. As a mother, I had 3 children who lived past early childhood. Sadly, I was widowed young. And that might sum up the total of who I was. However, it does not, because while this was an era of gentility, this was also the era of the American Women's Club. Women coming together, not just for socializing, but for social causes. We certainly had a cause to address here in Doylestown, because our quaint village was an adolescent suffering the aches and pains of a rapid growth spurt. As the century drew to its close, more people were moving into town and more commerce was attracting hordes of day visitors, which meant more horses, either carrying riders or tethered to carriages, which meant fogs of dust kicked up on unpaved avenues, which meant ruined hems and soiled pant legs. While that may be what caught the attention of us wives and mothers at first, as men rarely care about laundry, believing their clean and pressed clothes magically appear in their wardrobes, I apologize. I digress. It was the street dust that worried us. Out for a constitutional, one might hear birds chirping and passerby coughing. We were always at the ready with a napkin in hand in the event we were suddenly thrust into a suffocating morass. Windows that faced the street were kept tightly shut. Doors opened only to family and visitors desperate for some breathable air indoors. One might call this a paradox. One might also call this an urgent matter, that is, maintaining and ensuring good public health, especially for the most vulnerable, our children. Something had to be done. I was already active with the Children's Aid Society when I put out the word that I was forming a new club in the village, one that I hoped would lead to the improvement of our overall health and quality of life. And that's what brought the first small but determined association of women to my house that night in late April 1885. A few hours later, one member made a motion, another voice called out, "I second that motion," and I adjourned the first meeting of the Village Improvement Association. Word spread quickly. Our membership doubled in only weeks, forcing us to move from my home to the library room in Lenape Hall. We formed committees, elected chairs, and I was chosen as the VIA's first president. The rest, you might say, is history. And I don't mean local history, because today the hospital board of the VIA oversees the entire Doylestown Hospital entity, the only one of its kind in the country, governed by women. Because once there was a group of indefatigable mothers, sisters, and daughters, some of whom you are about to meet.